Hello and welcome to a little bit of live map making with me, BonBonB. I'm BonBonB. You are very welcome, and a big congratulations to Spain. I was going to do a little Google Translate on how to say congratulations in Spanish. I'm just going to say it in English. Congratulations to Spain for winning the Women's World Cup, beating England 1-0 in the final. Hate to say it, but generally I think they deserved it. I hate to say it, but the Japanese will be a little bit disappointed having beaten them 4-0 earlier in the tournament. You beat the world champions 4-0 on the way, and yes. How was the football, says Random 5? It was football-y. It was very typically British. We got to the final and lost. That's the most British thing there is you can do in terms of football. Right, so first of all, there's going to be a little bit of a tutorial on later on today. It's not a heavily edited one. It is me waffling for quite a while, but it's something that I don't do very well at all. And I need to do a tutorial to teach myself before I could actually go on to the next level with the map. The map's not quite ready to go to the next level, but it's getting close to it. And it is regarding these little fellows down here. There they are. It's a tree painting. I think I'm okay, but I'm nowhere near the quality of the top tier. And I think the difference between an A-lister, or maybe maybe I'm top level B-list, maybe, I don't know, A-list, B-list player, map maker, and an S tier. I think a lot of that is the quality of the tree painting. And so yes, I have put together. It's a tutorial that analyzes the tree painting methods used by the top creators. So you'll see. It does go on for a little while. I think it's about a 50-minute in total. There's no actual tree painting by me. It is analysing other map makers' works, not mentioning which the map makers are as well. You can play a little guessing game uh, whilst you're watching the show. So yes, you can play a little guessing game as to who was who, and all the names are given at the end as to who they were. But yes, and it's all vanilla as well. So vanilla map making, vanilla trees. What's that? Random. You're also about to comment tree painting. You're. I wouldn't say you're very bad at it. I would say you're at least my standard. I don't think I'm bad. I just don't think I'm exceptional. And so yes, I wanted to analyze some of their work before I go putting trees onto this map, because I think this map is going to deserve a decent level of tree painting. Right, now where have I got up to? I did a little bit off camera. I think I've extended one of the rivers down. The rivers are getting close to being finished now. Getting close to it. I think I'm going to do them now. Also, I was looking at this intersection and the lakes, and I don't like the lakes in here. The lakes are going. I may have one balancing lake in here somewhere, but I don't. I don't like this. This feels scrappy. This feels very, very scrappy. So these will be going mostly. Was there anything else I've done off camera? Oh, I did a little bit of waterfall work. Okay, I've put some placeholders for the waterfall detailing over here. Coming a little bit closer for you. Placeholders, they're not quite exactly how I want them, but they're not. It's not bad. It's just not quite the done deal yet. I think the waterfalls over on the northern wall of the map, these, I'm probably good to leave these now. I think there might be a little bit of tweaking with the terrain to stop it being quite so sharp, but I don't mind these as they are. These upper lakes as well need a bit of reshaping, but they are part of this river system where I haven't quite worked on yet, you can see by the slightly gouged rivers here. So yeah, I'm going to probably do the lakes now. Why not now? And then these upper rivers down to here. This section here I think is going to be my main focus today. I did a little bit more detail work on the castle. The castle seemed a little bit one-sided in terms of weight and of balance, so I put a little, like an external I don't know, summer house, I guess, whatever, down at this end of the castle, just to balance the weight of the castle, because we've got this extended grounds here. So so I think I'm not entirely sure I'm super happy with this, but it's probably not far off how I'm going to have it when it's finished. Hang on, what have we got here? Ooh. You'd say, hang on a second. Usually I want realistic forests, but then I realise it requires too many trees, so I put some gaps in it. Also, don't like it. You're going to find this tutorial later very interesting, random, very interesting, because my analyzing of I look at 5 different what's the word I'm looking for, factors in the forest painting. One of them is tree density, as you were saying there. Realistic forests, the trees should be quite dense, so we look at density. We look at the fade, so the transition from deep forest to build plains, and how these 7 creators transition across. We look at tree clusters, which is just not a forest. Like if I was going to, let me come back to here. If I was going, we've got a forest over here, we've got a forest over here, big splash in the middle. I might want to put a small cluster of trees in here to break it up. So looking at tree clusters, looking at mountain work, and the shapes of the trees going up into the mountains, tree seams as such, and farms and hedgerows as well. And I just noticed something that I was tweaking and fiddling about with off camera over here, which I'm just going to get rid of because I don't feel that is going to benefit anybody today. I may or may not be using what I was doing there later on. Right, so, and you'd say, where are we? Sidai, Wathradnir, Anapu for sure. They're very different styles. Anapu wasn't so much, because the other thing I've done with this tutorial is just 100% vanilla. So I'm more focused towards those who are vanilla map builders. And Waft might have a few vanilla maps out there somewhere, possibly. Sidai definitely does. I'd agree with that. Anapu does like to do a bit on the fantasy side, don't they? But anyway, let's do some map making. All right, let's do some map making. I have coffee. I have coffee to go, and I have these lakes, which are. Let me just make sure that waterfall is good. Let's hit the simulation. That's not bad. I probably want to do a little work on this waterfall. Not much. Just a little work on it. So brush size small as you go. Brush strength down a bit. And we'll just deepen that a little bit there. So we get a little bit of colour. That's better. That's better, but not perfect. I'm still going to do a little bit more on that. If I can just persuade it. I used half time in the football to go and clean my windows. When I'm cleaning windows, that's what I did. Multitasking. Right, how is that? Okay, I'll roll with that. That's as good as it needs to be. We've got this really wide waterfall going on here, and it's definitely struggles at the edge. Definitely struggling at the edge there. So yeah, I'm looking for that video to go out about 6 PM tonight. Like I say, it's not a quick watch. It's not a 10-minute show or anything like that. So I don't expect people to sit down and watch it all in one go immediately. But if you're looking for tips on forest painting, let's put it this way, I learned a lot from it. It was right from the off. It was more for me, and I figured if I'm going to be doing it for me, I may as well share my experience with you. So that's why it is. It's not a video out there I expect to get tens of thousands of views. Speaking of which, though, have you seen how this old gamer's new video is going? That, I mean, I knew it was going to do well, but that is doing very well indeed. It's by far his most successful new video. So where are we? Brush size down, strength down. There we go. Yeah, do check out this old gamer's latest one. That is something to behold. Really, really special. Thoroughly deserves the success he's getting with that video at the moment. I mean, yes, it's not millions of views, but you know, he's still a small channel, and just to get the number of views he's getting, he's really happy with. So I say all credit. Go check that out. It's all about Cities Skylines 2. Yeah, almost 4,000. I'll be really happy with that on any of my videos of late. I haven't been doing very well just lately. The one I'm really disappointed by is the performance of Cities Skylines 2 o'clock. That show, I figure, is, I mean, I think it's worthy. I honestly think it's worthy, and because I'm getting different people in every week as well, it adds, it makes every show different. It's not just me waffling for an hour. Yeah, I don't think that I'm this big shot that deserves to have all of the focus all of the time. I mean, clearly I should, but yeah, just having these other, and I think all these other guys got really interesting things to say. So yeah, the show is just not performing at all in the way I want. I tried different thumbnails, making it a little bit more YouTubey, a little bit memeier, and that doesn't seem to have helped. So I don't know. it might get to the point I say, well, actually, if there's no, because I'm averaging about maybe 600 views a show. I mean, that isn't worth getting excited over. It's okay. It's kind of what the chart show gets, but the chart show is a show on a game which is 8 years old. This is like a preview show, a news and discussion show on a game which isn't out yet. It should be getting a lot more than it is. Try big red arrows and circles. Hi Style, how you doing? How you doing? All right. Oh dear. Yeah, I mean it's really disappointing for me as a content creator. Yeah, you put the hours in and try and come up with really interesting ideas. And not my most interesting ideas, they didn't get many views either. They got views. I thought the navigable aqueduct video was going to do way better than it did. I thought, because I'm an idiot, that the marble run one was going to do quite interestingly, because there's nothing like it. It's unique, it's different, and nothing. I'm wasted on this community. Just wasted on this community. No, I get it. I get it. People want to do city builds, don't they? Weird that. Weird that. Why would anybody want to do city builds in a city builder? Oh, crazy. Right, okay, that is still... That's a bit more interesting there, isn't it? Definitely. This, however... isn't the most amazing thing in the world. Let me see if I can do something about this. Ooh, didn't want to do that. Yes, so congratulations to Spain. They deserve it. They're really, really good. Oh, random, I forgot to say. I commented on the video. Yeah, I just stumbled across another one of those parodies about me. The recording at like 2 in the morning, waking up the neighbours and Mr. Bean. I blissfully unaware that was there. Finally caught up. Again, the algorithm. You think it would have shown it to me. It would have at least suggested that I should go and have a look at it, but I was blissfully unaware of it. Oh, I don't know. Right. How are we doing here? I'm gonna up this a little bit here, but I'm gonna down it here, and we can just get that to behave. Not quite that deep, did I? Did I? Probably not. Right, so definitely interesting. The algorithm is something very weird. My map meme on my channel got 750,000 views for no reason. Yeah, I just saw a quick meme. I thought, as soon as as you said you were talking at 1 AM. Yes. Well, it only took me a year, didn't it? Yeah, oh, however long it was. But I did see it. I appreciated it. I had to watch it twice to really understand what was going on. What? Oh, yeah. Yeah. The thing is, right, yeah, it's funny, but my neighbours can't hear me. I can't hear my neighbours. All the years I've been here, they had one of their youngsters had screaming fits at quite an early age, quite a young age, and I'm going to elevate that there. Where are we? So yeah, one of the youngsters had screaming fits, and you could just about hear them screaming. And there was at one point while they were newly moved in, that let's just say you could hear not even nocturnal activities. On one occasion, I think before they repositioned the bed so that it didn't back onto my property, you could hear the occasional thumping, and yeah, I think they probably figured out that. No, I didn't tell them. I let them resolve it. And I'm normally sat here with my headphones on at that time of the morning anyway, so it was like I think I took them off to go make a cup of coffee or something, and then suddenly it was like, oh hello, hello, quick, headphones on. Oh dear. But yeah, the walls here, it's an old building. It's not one of these modern plasterboard wall type things. It's building's about 300 years old. It's stone. It's actually stone built, so not much sound creeps through. And I've had these burglaries, and my neighbour, big lad, lovely bloke, hasn't heard one of them, like the smashing of the window and just literally smashing down the door on one occasion. The entire door was completely socked in. Didn't hear a thing. So yeah, it's just the way it is. Fortunately, it did wake me up, and I was able to go confront the guys who were crowbarring and sledgehammering my front door down. Yes, it's now, hang on, we can fix this. We can fix it. There we go. What have we got there? Oh, we've got a random and we've got a random. This is going to get complicated. Doing well myself. I'm a treasure. You mean I should be buried? Or have I got a sunken chest? Funnily enough, back in my late teens, my sister's boyfriend used to call me Long John Silver because of my sunken chest. Oh dear, yeah, he was a lad. I liked him, but yeah, you got to laugh. That was before I bulked out. Motorbike out there, yeah. Before I bulked out and became somewhat more masculine, you know. I was a lad. I was just a boy with ribs, right? Now, hang on a second. What's going on here? I don't really want these floating. Okay, that's probably a bit better. Yeah, back to these chats. Where are we? Algorithm stuff. Yeah, we read that, didn't we? 600 reviews, more than double what my YouTube gets. But yeah, I think Cities Skylines 2 o'clock. But this is it. It's on brand. The logo. I mean, come on, that logo. I'm really proud of that logo. You know, taking their logo, I'm turning it into a 2 o'clock site. What's going on here? Is that going to? I think it is. That one is. Is this one? Ooh, you are. Look at you, you syrupy thing, you. Although this one here also needs... Oh, bloody hell. Now, if you don't mind to stop being a glitchy AF, that'd be really, really helpful. I think that one also needs it. There we go. Right, so waterfall's coming along. Where were we? So waterfall's turning out very nice. Thank you very much, Random. Thank you very much indeed. There are a few of them on this map, and you know me, your map's only as strong as your weakest point, right? So I don't want to have one really bad waterfall on here, because they've all got to be of the same standard. Yes, taste is going to come into it. So some people are going to look at this and go, I don't like this. This is all zigzaggy and whatever. Yeah, I get that. But I'm trying to do something a bit different from the normal here. a little bit different. I'm going to just drop that down deliberately, see if I can get rid of some of the spike on that. Right, so that waterfall's coming along nicely. In terms of the lakes, and this waterfall's struggling a bit, but it's not too bad. I think I'll do the lakes later. I said I was rivering, so rivering is what I'm going to do. Clearly done to here. This is my marker to say this is as far as I got. Hi Hunter. BonBonB boy. Boy? Are you going to go? No worry, random. Thanks very much for popping in and saying hi. Boy? Wow. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. I haven't been called boy for a while. Right, so do we want to... I think we can do this from this level. Bring it out this way. That's not too bad at all. Not too bad at all. So yeah, all credit to Spain. They, like I say, it's hard for me to say they deserved it. I did feel we were a little bit hard done by here and there, but overall, Spain were deserved winners of the Women's World Cup at the end. But did feel it was a manager error in the first half. They made some calls that, and again, there's me on the big bucks football manager wise, you know. But yeah, there was one or two decisions that she made that she changed in the second half. But by that point, I think it was a little too late. We probably should have started with a slightly different formation, player positions and stuff like that. But you know, that's just how it goes sometimes, isn't it? You can't win them all. In fact, only one team can win, and that team was España. So again, all credit to them. Right. What I'm doing here, hang on, let's do a I'll come back and fix this up later. Right, so river, one side is done. Let's go do the other side. Except for the other side, we have to be a little bit careful here because this is higher. I think what I'm going to do is this. Choose that. Bring that around here. Bring that up to here. And I've got my fingers crossed because there's been a lot of maps sneaking into the workshop front page just lately, and not just maps, but maps from people that, I mean, are unheard of, first-time map makers and things like that. I'm hopeful that I'm going to be on my own chart show for the first time. I'm hoping. It does require me to actually finish this map in good time, but I think, like I say, I still think I'm going to be probably done in about 2 weeks, and then we will get this shared with the community and everybody can have some fun. Also, don't forget, we've got the 81 player collaboration. If you haven't already put your hand up for a tile, there are still tiles available. I can't remember exactly how many, but there are, I don't know, somewhere around 25 ish, 25 maybe 30 out of the 81. They are all around the outer rim though, so you'll have an, I'll say, an outside connection. You won't have an outside connection probably, but what you will have is a great view of the blue mantle. Oh yeah. Right, that's not bad. How's the waterfall behaving? Waterfall doesn't look too bad, actually. I'm going to bring in... Oops. I'm going to bring in this edge from here. And bring this up as well here. And... something like that. How's that waterfall looking now? Do you know what? I'll take that. That's fine. As waterfalls go, that's gonna do the job. Which means that our two pillars, here they be, can be moved downstream a little bit. You're coming down to there, and you are disappearing, right? Oh, for goodness me, I'm all fingers here. Got ya. Right, so it's everything south of there, and this river here. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to clean this river up down to this point, and that'll just leave me then with this stretch down to here. So that's how I'm going to work this. And I don't think it's going to be the world's biggest job, if I'm honest with you. Don't think it's going to be the world's biggest job. Here we go. So narrow the river up as well. Now, of course, be a little bit of flooding here because I am terrain working where the water is live. So I'm expecting there to be a little bit of insta flooding, but it'll be temporary and it'll be okay. I can survive. I can work with it. Bring it down this way. And that little bit of temporary flooding is absolutely allowable. We'll do the softening tool in a minute. It's not bad. Just a little bit of cleaning up to there to do that. And okay, go back and soften up some of these edges. Oh, hang on. Lost my camera there. Across here. So how's everybody else today then, eh? Hopefully everybody else is having a decent day. Like I say, I've got this video going out tonight, and then the dev diary tomorrow, and then start looking at the 81 player collaboration and start piecing things together as they're sent through to me slowly but surely. I've already got the first contribution. Oh, didn't want to quite do that. Let's see what happens there once it all catches up. Brandon, waterfalls looking great. I think it's hard to make rivers and waterfalls. Patience is the word. Patience is the word. I think anybody can do it, which as long as you go with a very soft brush for making final adjustments, and yeah, just take your time. So this map is full of rivers, different shapes, different styles, and yeah, I'm just working my way down each and every one of them, just meter by meter, meter by meter. I'm going to set the simulation up a little bit because we're going to be waiting a while for this water to... Right, so I think that's definitely going to need a little helping hand there. I've got a little splaying here. If we have a look there, it's almost, I mean, that's probably just shadow reflection. But I'm going to do a little tap on the... Oi! Of course, the game speed high, that means little taps are massive whacks, right? Oh, nowhere near that much either. Because hang on a second. Game speed is down. Brush strength, I've got way too high there as well. There we go. So game speed and brush height. Yeah, the game speed affects the brush strength because as you hold the, if I tap like very briefly here on a slow speed, let's say it will pick up, I don't know, 10 clicks. Whereas if I've got the game on high speed, which will be on there, if I got it on 300 speed, those 6 taps, it'll pick up, 60 of them. And so it'll just, it's harder to have close control or soft control with the high game speed. I'm actually going to narrow this river up a little bit here as well, just a little bit. Constantly adjusting brush strength. It's a ongoing battle. Right. Not liking the this river sort of like goes wide, narrow. Doesn't feel natural. The thing is, it's a fantasy map, so you're constantly playing that battle between a map feeling natural and a map feeling fantastical that doesn't feel natural, that probably should feel more natural, and so on. Yeah. So let's try that. And here as well. How's that feeling? That's a little better, I think. Right. Now we'll let the simulation sort itself out again. And I'll have some of that coffee, that well-earned coffee. Love a well-earned coffee. Best coffee is a well-earned coffee, right? Second best coffee is a well-earned coffee that's gone cold because you've been too busy concentrating. Yeah. And that happens. Might narrow this loop up a little bit as well. I do want it wider. Always find that rivers flow faster in a straight line and slower as they go wide. So these bends tend to be in real life wider than straight sections. That's a BonBon's tip of the day for the same tip of the day as yesterday. for the rivers. And it'll be the same tip again tomorrow. Right, so I think here we will allow some kind of pool. There. And there. And this is probably okay to be quite wide, I think. We'll have a look, see what we feel in a moment. Okay, simulation up again. Off she goes. No matter what, I think at the end of this, our marker, which the only marker I've got for here is right at the very top, is coming down to this waterfall. In fact, I'm probably going to end up moving it down here. I think we are very close, because that is good. This marker here, you are coming with me. Where are we? Hang on, I've lost where I am. You will be going here. I'm not going to put you there until we've done it, but it means that this can go. I'm also looking at this river section here. That needs widening slightly. Very, very slightly. Or deepening. Widening or deepening. One of those two. Or both. Let's have a look what we got in the way of terrain here. Just widening. Boop, 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 boop. Right, we'll go from you. And we'll go from the U to you. And that should fix that. And look a lot better for it as well. Right, lovely jubbly. You are looking fine. Just got a few bits of temporary flooding going on there, which I can probably fix real easy with just a full strength brush. Right, there's nowhere for the water to go, so it'll evaporate even quicker now. It will evaporate even quicker. If it reappears, it'll be gone in no time. Right, it has reappeared, but that's fine. So now we'll do from here down to here. This will be done. And do you know what? I love progress. This, anybody remember what this was like 2 weeks ago with the rivers in a state of gouge? It was a state of gouge. The whole thing was just doodled. How do I think a rivers network should go here? There are 1 or 2 rivers that have been redirected because they didn't quite feel right. Like I think this one here. I don't even think there was one here that even existed. I think this one came down. I think this split here, and it just didn't feel plausible. So yeah, we have this one coming down here, filling this gap. I know people are going to say there's no buildable space there, but look where it is. It's out of the 25 tiles on the vanilla map. Does it matter? Not that much at all. If you want to go out there and build as a high quality player, you go out there and build, but you've got a river to work around, right? Okay, so let's do this lower part of this river. I'm going to narrow it up slightly, not huge amounts. That waterfall there is on point, I think. Just a little, there's a little bit of splaying going on here. Keep hitting the escape button instead of the correct button, which is not the escape button, right? Are we sure? It would help if I used the right tool. Bring the size of that down. Right. Still a bit of an issue going on there. Still a bit of an issue going on there. Okay. I see. We're going to have to stop it from coming over the edge. Full stop. To prevent that splaying. Right, let's see how that goes. Still coming over. That's all right. Let's not worry about it. Gotcha. 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 A little bit of a bump at the top, but I think that's going to resolve itself. If it doesn't, we can fix that. Who we got there? RCN here. Hi, RCN. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Hey, we are very sorted. Right. That's... I was going to say that waterfall's done, but I still looks like it's clipping through, because I'm called it splaying, but what it is it's that is water clipping through the terrain as it finds its way down. There's a potential solution, but it's probably going to cause a bigger problem. That's using a vanilla building on there. Let's see how we go with a vanilla building, because I've been using those vanilla buildings to actually cause disruption. And that's how these vanilla rocks usually work. Oh, come on. Yes, we'll have that, please. I don't think this is going to work, but let's see. Sometimes if you get them just right, it can block that from happening. Or it can cause it to just, all the water just go flying over it, like I've just caused the world's biggest flood, you know? I don't know if that's the right set of rocks, but they'll all have the same effect. You can see here what's happening with the water now. Let me give the water a chance to sort itself out. Yeah, that's no better, is it? If anything, it's worse. It's okay though, because we have the bulldozer. Alright, so I am going to have to just be more brutal with this terrain. Far more brutal. Everybody keeps saying nice waterfall. Thank you very much. This map is full of them. Well, it's full of waterfalls. Whether or not they're nice is down to personal interpretation. But this one is it behaving finally? It might be, you know. It might be. Not quite happy with that. I'll drop the strength down here. Yeah. Here. I'm going to stop faffing about with this in a minute. At some point, I'm going to be happy with it, right? I don't know when that point is going to be. I'm going to settle for it, you know. I'm going to settle for it. Who else is going to look so closely at that? Other than everybody that's been watching me doing this, and they're going to downvote the map because the waterfalls are rubbish. They're not realistic. What's going on? Right, okay. This river is very deep. Very deep. As is this one it's rolling onto. Gonna bring the level of the river up. We're going to see, again, more flooding. Expect flooding. It's not a problem. It's brush strength. Right. Oh, come on. I'm trying to click the old slider. I'm expecting flooding. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. We have a river system to take it out to sea. That will suffice beautifully. Right. How's that? Pretty neat. I'll do a little like so. Okay, let's let the water sort itself out for a moment. Whee! Water physics might be ridiculous, but they are so soothing. They are so soothing. Do you think the new day tomorrow will have... Hang on, the new dev tomorrow will have new insights. New insights? Hang on a second. I've forgotten what's coming up tomorrow. What's coming up tomorrow, guys? Dev diary. Dev diary for tomorrow. Too many things in my head at the moment. So tomorrow is Citizen Simulation and Life Path. Right, okay. Tomorrow will be some stuff that we don't know or understand, but they'll also be repeating much of the stuff they've already said to us multiple times over, because, you know, it's just the same every single time, isn't it? The same information over and over again with drip feeds of new information. I need to narrow this river up a little bit, but mostly at the top. So yeah, I reckon tomorrow's will be a bit interesting. There might be a couple of nuggets of new information. There might be a little bit of technical stuff in there that we don't really understand yet. Well, the thing that I think is going to be quite interesting next week is with the Gamescom live play that they're going to be doing. That will be quite revealing, especially as... Oh, God, bloody heck. Especially as the version they're going to be playing on will be a more up-to-date version than we've seen footage from. So I would say that is going to be, as much as the most interesting thing next week, one of the most interesting things next week. A little bit of live gameplay. Will we know anything about the map editors by the end of this week? I would say the answer is going to be no. I'd be very surprised we find out much about the map editors before game release, if there's even a map editor. Again, we're speculating. We know there's editors or editor, but we have no clue as to what we're going to be able to do in said editor. But that cramp. Yeah, so it's early. I think I'll narrow this slightly here, just slightly. Right. Game progression. Yes. So tomorrow, citizen life cycles and game progression. What I think we're going to find out tomorrow is a little bit more about like the unlocks, because we know that you got your milestones. We're aware of that, and also what's the word they had for it? Development points. That was it. Development points. So I think as you're building a city, you put down your first elementary school. Because you put down an elementary school, you get a development point. Because you put down an upgraded highway, you get a development point. Because you've increased your taxes, you get a development point. Now you've got 3 development points. That means that you can put down one of a new sort of building. And that new sort of building is something else. And then you upgrade your power station. That scores you 2 development points. And those 2 development points you can invest into a new sort of taxation or a new sort of building. I think that is the thing that they're going to be looking at, talking about in tomorrow's show mostly, along Citizens Life Pass. Again, yeah, there are 4 different age types in our city: children, teens, adults and seniors. Families like to live in large houses. Unemployed can live in the park. All the usual stuff. I mean, we've heard it before. We'll hear it again. Okay? But there will be a few little nuggets that we haven't picked up on yet. And I am not liking the shape of this at all. I am not liking the shape of this at all. I think we bring that out a little bit there, and so much about this shape here I'm not liking. I'm probably going to rework the entire, well, not the entire. I'll let the water, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a bit of that. Just not feeling it at the moment, that. So yeah, oh hello. 20 milestones packed with rewards and a whole new system of development trees. Do you know what? The thing is, I don't mind the idea of development trees. I don't mind it. And I know there are a few people that the whole seasonal cycles, the day cycles, all of that. I think that a lot of people are overly concerned about that. I would say don't be overly concerned about that at the beginning. What they're doing is they're providing us with a game, and the thing is, right, here we are at the moment. I'm looking at this. This is not Cities Skylines, right? What part of this is city building? It's not. Their job is to provide us with a city builder experience that some people will play for a couple of hours and find boring. Some people will play for 100 hours and run out of things to do, and some people will break and use mods to create something incredible. And we here are at that final. We're in the final part of that community. We're used to, we need mods, we need to break this game. No, you play the game, you learn the game, you decide what it is about the game that doesn't work for you, and then you use mods to make that better. Right? We are right back to diapers here, right? In terms of the gameplay, we are right back to diapers, and we have to just forget about Cities Skylines 1 and what we know about it. You know what I don't like about this? I've worked it out what I don't like. I have worked it out what I don't. Sometimes you have to go away, take a moment away, stop thinking. Stop thinking and start doing something a bit different. When you come back to an area, suddenly you go, oh, that's what's wrong with this. There we go. This is going to be closer. This is going to be not necessarily perfect, but look, I wanted a softening tool. How's that? As long as that water stays in that river once it settles down. The flying man's here. Hi, flying man. Hello. Yeah. Once that river has settled down, which we can do a little bit quicker because we have the power. We have the power because we have mods. What am I looking for? This. There we go. Zump. Right. How much of that river is going to be able to stay? The water. It's a bit too much water there. So I'm going to stick a spawn point at the bottom of the waterfall, I think. Or maybe I just need to tighten it up a bit. Let's try tighten it up a little bit more first. Run that along there. Still not right. And I can see what's wrong with it. Look, I've got no control at this speed. I have no control. Slow the game down. Right, we are getting close to... where were we? We were the next waterfall down. There we go. No, it wasn't that one. What waterfall are we on? We're on this one. I lost all camera control there. Right, let's do... this. And because of that, let's do this. And because that, let's do this. And because that, let's do this. Right, and this S bend becomes, well, U bend. U bend? Yes, it's a U bend. That's what that is. Yes. We are getting close. Come on. Come on. Please. Be nice to Uncle Bonbon. Right, let's see whether or not, once this water settles down, that is contained within the river network. It doesn't look like it's going to be, but we'll give it a moment. Right. It's close, you know. It's pretty close. Oops. Didn't really want to do that. Oh, look. I'm sure I clicked it twice and it's still... No, I am going to continue flooding if I don't work that backwards. It's almost there. Now, the idea of a spawn, soften that up. The idea of, oh goodness me, I'm bodging this up badly. Yeah, I could put a water spawn there as a controller, but whilst I will advocate use as many water spawns as you need, I will also say don't use more than you need. Use the right amount of water spawns. There's nothing wrong with, like, say, putting a whole bunch along. Yeah, I did that tutorial that said put a whole bunch along the top. Yeah, that doesn't mean you've got to. That means it give you an idea of where your water flow should go naturally, and then you use as few as necessary to get the same effect. So you put them all in, then you take them all out, you do the okey cokey, and you turn around. That's what it's all about. Yeah. That's my thought process on it anyway. I think we're going to be raising this riverbed as well, so that's not a huge problem. I think here let's take it up to that line. We'll worry about what goes on south of that line in a minute. We're just looking to contain the water in the river without using. Okay then, that was my fault. Okay then. I think we have to. I think I'm going to use one spawn in there, you know. I think just to take the weight out of it is. Well, there's already one up there. Well, that's a bingo, isn't it? Actually, it's not the fill level 2, it's the capacity. You really at 50? You really at 50? That's crazy. Yeah, I know. I get you. Let's have a little look at the chats while this floods my entire map. Apparently, actually, let's not doing anything else with the map. What? Oh, is it because I've just gone a little bit bonkers there? Yeah. Okay. Panic over. This is why we have rivers, to control the floods. Okay. That's much better. That is much better. This water will equilibrate, balance out in a minute, I think. We've got a little bit of a fill going on here. Come on. Fill on in. That's not bad. Do you know what? I am now going to move these two pillars into place and then catch up on the chat, something about volcanoes, which will be interesting. Right, you and you're gone, and you can go back down to normal game speed, and we'll pull the camera to here, like so. Right, where were we with the chat? Hi chat. Right. Hey all. No, don't forget about CS1. It's like Grand Theft Auto 4, even with newer games. Oh, it's a classic, absolutely a classic. It's something I may come back to. May. Don't hold your breath. I'm really thinking about playing this map when it's done. So if I give suggestions, it's because I see you say, oh, suggestions are always welcome. Suggestions are always welcome. I'd really like to see a volcano in the middle of the horseshoe. Not going to happen, but I have got an idea. Something that I've been hanging. The very first thing I did in today's stream was I deleted something because I didn't want people to see my idea before I've actually put it into implementation. Not saying it's going to happen, but there may be some volcano features on this map. So there we go. You want to play the map as well? Oh, cheers, RCN. I think it is going to be playable. I think it's going to be nicely playable and will suit for quite an easy build. Last time round, don't know if you how many people saw, I took out the bridge over this because I felt that the bridge was actually going to affect playability. It's not quite finished, this the tunnel. This is like a speed fix here, but with the low bridge over that, we're going to be able to have shipping coming in here and here, and the low bridge was going to block the shipping, so I went with the tunnel. The only problem with the tunnel is because of the placement of the intersection. I want the intersection there because the intersection here gives you big playable space here, big playable space here and here, with the highway leading up into the map. If I were to move this intersection, it's gonna basically block up some of these key spaces that I really want left open. And the problem with the intersection, if you can call it a problem, trying to get the roads into this part of the start square from this side is a bit challenging. Can be done obviously because we got the highway here. I don't see any problem with somebody putting intersection here. In fact, I think that's probably optimal. Coming up to here, popping an intersection here, and then a road coming down the side. So I don't see this as a huge problem, but because it's in the start square, I think it's grumbleable, right? It's grumbleable. Also, we do have these bits of perma flooding going on here and here, which I like because aesthetically it works for me, but also it's very easy to fix. There's no actual water spawns in either of those as well, so just level out the terrain. And if you're playing vanilla, that's just like borrow some soil and put down the soil. Yeah, you can level out the terrain, and this is just flooding. None of this here. What the heck's going on out there? Don't know if you heard that, but that was funny. Yeah, so it was one of those that I think I was planning. In fact, I think this one here did have a couple of spawns in it, and I've decided I'd rather that didn't have any spawns at all there. So yeah, in terms of the gameplay aspect of the map, I'm really happy with it. Really happy with it. I still got to get a rail line in somewhere. That will happen, but it's thank you, Mr. Motorbike. Yeah, got all of that. But anyway, I'm working on the rivers. We've got this marker here. Everything upstream of that is done. Everything upstream of that is done, apart from the lakes at the top, which I just kind of want to do something. Not much, just do something. Just a slight tidy up on those. But everything upstream from those two. So now all we've got to do is this river here, basically down to this point, and that will be done. Then also this river here, from the waterfalls down this way. Again, doesn't seem like the world's biggest job to me at all. And then that feeds down into the harbour, or the bay, I guess. So and then the rivers are going to be done. Or rivers, as you know, major job to do well, to do very well. And I'm finally getting to the point. Right, okay, so this waterfall here, I'm not touching it. I am not touching it. This river here looks like I've already done it. What's that doing up there when it should be down here? Huh? I'm not moving it, clearly. Okay, let's check this side. This waterfall here, I'm not touching it. Fine. They're both fine. They're both fine. This is almost fine. This is almost fine. I'll catch up with the chat in a second. I've just seen something pop up there, but this is almost fine. I cannot stop at almost fine, right? Brush strength quite low. think that's better. I think that is better. Right, okay. I know it's almost joking me doing this, but that is gone. This, come on, at least. Gotcha. There we are. So it's just everything downstream from there. Excited. What's this? Okay. Always wanted to build an alpine village, so it could be nice to have some buildable space in the mountains. Yes. No. I'll go back to why in a minute, okay, Flying Man. I see where you're coming from. It's if I go to building space in the mountains, it'll be just basically giving too much, and you'll see why in a moment. Did you know you can make one outside connection? Did you know you can't make one outside? Hang on, I can't. Hang on, I need to open up the browser. Unfortunately, my streaming software, which I'm trying to read that, has stuck a great big heart over it, so I can't quite. Did you know you can make one outside connection? Yes, of course you can make one outside connection. You can also make 4, 8, 10, 12. I want to say 12 outside connections. Or is it? No, hang on. I'm trying to think. Or is it 16? It's 4 road. Is it 4 highway? 4 shipping, 2 air. It might be. Or is it 16? Is it 4 of each? Without mods, this is obviously with mods, the unlimited outside connection mod. Make as many as you like, but you can make one outside. You can make no outside connections. It won't be a very good game, but yeah, you can make. I mean, I appreciate English is not your first language, but or is it not? I've forgotten. No, Flying Man, it isn't. But I'm confused by the question. I think the question is not what I'm answering, right? I've got to be right there. I'm not answering the right question. Right, mountains. Building space in the mountains, right. So, let's go to that view there. So, it's a vanilla map. So, my main focus is playability in the 25 tiles. Every one of those 25 tiles has good, strong, possible exception. This one feels a bit light on buildable space, but even then there's stuff here. But yeah, every single one of them I might try and steal a bit more space for. Thanks, Mr. Motorbike. There's a new meme. Thanks, Mr. Motorbike. I might try and steal a little bit more space for this buildable space for this tile. And I might try and steal a little bit more space for the harbour, but not. I don't want to really take too much more from that. So, so this is my main concern: making sure everything in these tiles is easily accessible. Then, what's outside of that is, far as I'm concerned, fluff. Now, it's fluff that, as a city builder, if you have skills, here we go. Look, you could build a village up here. It's not flat. It's not flat, but this is going to be accessible. Then you've got this hidden valley, the secret valley, which again, I suppose you could do a village build up this way, or a small town under winding river. And then you have, whereabouts is the 25 tiles end? There we go. So how about up on this plateau? Again, for easy building, it's not a huge area, but you're looking for a village, aren't you? About a mountain village in these areas here. Again, kept them quite flat. But if you're talking about these external, these are really going to be there for visual backdrop. I've never really had any intention for those to be particularly playable. And again, these areas here, you could build up there if you wanted to, but that's not part of my vision. You see yourself building in those spaces. Great. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you absolutely should. But in terms of me making more space up in the mountains, it's really, I mean, I've out of the 25 tiles I wanted there to be, here we go, accessible space. This is ore here. I'm not sure. Can somebody tell me, because I've never really tried to exploit natural resources out of the 25 tiles, is it exploitable? Does this actually, by the game mechanics, actually generate ore? I don't know. I think I read somewhere that it doesn't. I don't have any personal experience either way on that one. But anyway, out of the 25 tiles, there is space. We'll come back over this way. There is space to do stuff, and space you can get up into these mountains if that's what you're looking to do. Like a little area here up by the, what a great view this would be, eh? What a great view that would be, looking down to the Three Sisters. So I'm going to call these mountains the Three Sisters, and then over the other side the Three Brothers. You can't quite see them from this distance, but yeah. Okay, so where were we? Yes, it is. You can exploit it. Thank you very much. I trust you. I trust you. I think I read it somewhere, and I didn't think to question it because, yeah, it doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect me at all. But yeah, the resources on this map, you can just about make out. We've got the 3/5 on this side, the bottom part. There's no resources down here. This is all about the downtown, the historic part of the town, I guess, on the plateaus here, and the harbour or airport areas over this side, I would imagine. And then up this side we have fertile in these four, ore in these two, oil in these four. So strong resources. This is a strong resource map. It's a strong downtown map, strong harbour map, good airport map. I mean, where would you put your airport? I think possibly here. Possibly here. Maybe a harbour with the airport tucked in behind it. Possibly. I don't know. Yes, when you focus on only 25 tiles, you lose more than half the map. Yes, well, yeah, it is more than half the map, but it is, as I'm doing vanilla assets, I want it to be a really good playable map for vanilla. But I'll say there's plenty of room outside of the outside. Where are we? 7, 14 plus 12. 24, 26. So the 26 inner ring, you've got 6 along here, which would, so you've got about 20 on the inner ring, which are mostly accessible on top. And then, like I say, right on the edge, if that's where you want to build, you go ahead and do it. But there has to be a limit. There has to be a limit. Right, so okay, let's see where we are here. I was going to do a little bit of cleaning up of these rivers. This shouldn't take too long. I imagine that this last part here, what, 10 minutes? Let's have a look at the time. 32 at the moment, well, 30, just turning 33 at the moment, right? I reckon 10 minutes to push the brush strength up a little bit. There we go. Not that much. Oh, I see what. Oh, hang on a second. I've got the wrong tool. Again, I've got the wrong tool. Bane of my life, right? Brush strength can come up. Yeah, I reckon 10 minutes. And I reckon that this river, as long as we don't have to do anything with the merge from the other river, and that's I think the only thing which is going to hold me, I'll bring the strength up even more, hold me up even more, will be the river merge here. I don't see that's going to be a problem. And that's a problem at all, isn't it? Yeah, that's all right. Oh, I need to bring this river level up though. That was that might change things a bit. This might take more than 10 minutes. This might take more than 10 minutes. But I think it needs to be done. That is all the way up here. Again, expect a little bit of light flooding. Not really a big problem. A bit of light flooding. Off you go. That's it. Off you go. Down that way. Ooh. Yes. Well, this is the thing, right? This is the thing. But yeah, when we started building on these maps all those years ago, we got 9 tiles. I never fit. You know what? Any of my city builds, I never, ever, 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 ever filled 9 tiles. Never, ever, ever. I think the biggest I did, I think I got one which got up to about 5 tiles. It was there was more 4 tiles than a 5th tile that I built with big plans, and then it just basically became too sluggish really for me to be able to enjoy the build anymore. So yeah, plus it was awful. My city was bad, right? My city was so bad. Oh dear, oh me. Yes, so can't really blame the map for it. It was a bad city, right? I had these great images, this great vision for this city, and the mechanics weren't going to work in its favour. Come on. But yeah, there's not that many players who film more than 9 tiles. A few will, but not many. But being able to access the outer tiles, it's nice. Especially, like I say, if you work up to one of the, let's say we're doing a city build on the 25 tiles here, right? And you get, you start doing, you're building here with your harbour, and you literally can't build anything here because it's out of your 25 tiles. But the rest of this is a beautifully built harbour, and that's just lost space. So yeah, being able to build out of the 25 tiles is it's good, right? But I don't think it should be key to having a good city. What's going on here? Oh, this is the downstream from where we broke things earlier. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, speaking of like buying tiles or whatever, my last build on Bonbon Island, I'm confused. This waterfall reminds me of that waterfall, or it reminds me of what that waterfall looked like before we changed it. So yeah, yep. Let's bring this in then, on the premise that it's very similar. But yeah, I think did I get up to, I think I was on the 2nd tile, wasn't I? And that was it. I only got up to a 2nd tile, but I was doing a detail build, and of course when you're doing the detail build, it takes so much longer to do anything. So much longer to do anything. Are you going to be contained there? That's better. Oh, that's better. This needs to narrow up slightly though. This needs to narrow up. Bring that in there. How's that? What have we got here? Is that Cities Skylines 2? Yes, Aviator. Colossal Order and Paradox have given me a very early access copy of Cities Skylines 2. I'm the last person they give a copy of Cities Skylines 2 to. Tutu? Desmond Tutu. No, it's Cities Skylines 1. It's my last map build. Sorry, not city build. Will people stop honking horns outside my window? Yeah, it's my last map build for Cities Skylines 1. If you think it's Cities Skylines 2 because it's that good, then thank you. But no, we're speculating on Cities Skylines 2. It's the Cities Skylines 2 speculation channel, where we have that weekly. Oh freaking heck! Oops again. Yeah, we have a weekly show called the Cities Skylines 2 o'clock on a Saturday, where me and another YouTuber, different one every week, we discuss what we think about the latest Dev Diaries and stuff like that. But no, there's no Cities Skylines 2 access here, and it's going to be a game that won't be gifted to me. I don't think I'm one of their preferred content creators. I'm a little bit too outspoken for their liking, I think, probably. And I will always tell the truth. If I think something's good, I'll tell you I think it's good. If I think something's rubbish, I will tell you if I think it's rubbish. I'll tell you if I don't think something's worth investing in. And if I don't think Cities Skylines 2 is any good, I want to be able to say so, okay? This is the thing. What happened to here? Yeah, I will very, very happily. I'd rather be able to tell the truth than be contracted with a and being paid to say how good something is, even if it is good, when it will be good. Cities Skylines 2 does look very good indeed so far. What I've seen, I'm very positive about, but I want to be able to say if it's not, and it's very hard for me to do that if I am under an agreement with Paradox. So I'm quite happy with the way things are. Yes, I would like to be paid. I want to earn some money, but I'm very happy with not being in a situation that I've got to say stuff that I don't necessarily believe, or basically not say stuff. So if I don't think the game's any good, as long as I don't say that and say stuff to promote the game and pick out the politically correct things to say about the game, that'd be a way, wouldn't it? But no, I'm very happy with the situation. What we got there? The middle of my map is great. I'm glad you appreciate the middle. The middle is the most important part of the map, of any map, with very few exceptions. Very, very few exceptions. Very, very, very few exceptions. So I'm quite pleased. If you get the middle of your map right, the playability will always be good, and then anything you do around the outside, you can get away with if something's not quite perfect on the outside. Like if this map in the middle is so good, so playable, that people don't look at the waterfalls, then that's great. That's great. If they play the map and they don't even realise in the deep fog, I won't show you those ones at the moment because they're still a work in progress. But yeah, that over here on the edge of the map, we've got. I do need to work the shape of this lake a little bit, just a little bit. But yeah, that there are very dramatic waterfalls coming out the sides of the mountains. Then that's fine. It's absolutely fine by me, if that's how things are. Right, we've got a bit of flooding, and I can see why, because I need to be a little bit harsher with this, like so. So I'm going to bring it up a little bit more here, so that when I use a softening brush there and there, it shouldn't be a complete disaster. It does need to be that little 1 meter taller there. Right, so, oh bloody heck, come on, stop flooding please. Stop flooding please. This river needs to narrow up just a little bit here. Just a little bit. Right, what have we got there? Now to fill it, I like to build a medium-sized city in the middle and a lot of village surrounding. The rural areas give a lot. Yes, they do. I agree with that. Question, my computer is an i3, oh bless, with 16 gigs of RAM, 2 terabytes SSD and a 2 terabyte hard drive. Can I record videos of me playing on the game with OBS? Oh, well, that's a good question. Well, OBS is free, so it costs you nothing to try. I would think so, but they are, yeah, Palladino is probably a little bit more experienced there. I started with an i7 and I didn't have any problems with the i7. I started with 16 gigs of RAM and SSDs as well. So yeah, I would think you're going to be okay. You may be at the bottom end, RCN, but it's free. It's absolutely free to try. So you should at least have a, if that's what you want to do, you should at least try. If it doesn't work out for you, then oh, it's unfortunate, I know, but there is that. I've been using Streamlabs just lately. That's what I'm using now for streaming, but you can actually record with that as well. I've got 2 or 3 recording options, and depending on what I'm trying to do, I will very rarely use OBS, but basically Streamlabs is basically OBS or something. says he with all the technicality in the world. But yes, maybe was it OBS? Sorry, yeah, Streamlabs uses OBS or something along those lines. Anyway, yeah. But then I'm not running on an i7 now. It's not like I'm saying yes because look how good this is working. No, it's not because of that. It's I'm very much not on an i7 anymore. I've gone a little bit up in the world from the i7. I'm going to stick them here. I think we're really close to being able to have them at the bottom of the river flow, or even completely deleted. Yeah, I'm not really feeling this little janky bit of river here. Oh, keep doing that. Sorry about that. It's close. It's very, very close. You know when I said 10 minutes, it's been 15. Okay? Don't judge me. It's been 15. But as long as, when I say 2 weeks, I'm hoping for this to be finished in 2 weeks. I think it could well be. I'm going to bring this up a little bit as well here. Try that. Try that. That's going to flood over the other side. It will take a moment to settle down. Oh, actually, no. Really don't like that. Okay, I really don't like it. Let's fix that. Let's fix it before it becomes a permanent fixture. Bringing this, and then didn't like the shape of it at all. Okay, try a little bit of that. Speed simulation up. That's the brush size. It looks like we've got a bit of perma flooding there. When I say it looks like we've got a little bit, we've definitely got some perma flooding there, which also makes me kind of want to go permanently this way and put an oxbow in here, but that would make this river, because we're going then onto canal directly, and that will make that feel very straight. So I am going to carry on as was. Come on. Can't be that difficult. I'm going to probably work the terrain here a little bit better. Not now, because come on. Let's get rid of that, please. Brush strength down. And we'll just smooth that out. If you'll let me smooth this out. Right, how are we doing? Yeah, it's definitely coming together. I'm going to just push this up a little bit here and drag this a little bit over this way as well, and we'll soften that out. We seem to be pretty close to have completed that river network. I'm going to do it now. I've got to do it now. It's gone. Ha! That is a weight off my mind. Now, is there river edge detailing to go in here? Absolutely. Do I want to do a little bit of terrain work here? I think I do, just a little bit. A little bit of hill work here, just not much, just a little bit, to give it a little bit of shape there, which would then, that would tie it into like the end of a ridge here. So that would feel quite sensible, and in fact we could then tie that we can then tie that back around here. So I think this is definitely going to feel like the continuation of a ridge bending around like that, I reckon. But I'm quite happy. Streamlabs is built on OBS. Yes, I think that's correct. I think that's... Hi Snoozbeat. G'day. G'day. Fly Man, I just think you're such a great map creator that it's a shame you focus only in less than a third of the map. But it's better than nothing. I'm not focusing on... Just... Whoa. Were you here for the first couple of weeks when I spent all this time focusing? Oh, we've still got those trees in the mountain there that I was doing a little test with. Let's get rid of them. Yeah, no, what? Very first thing I did was, well, I mean, yeah, put the mountains around the outside. Spent ages working on these terrain around here. Yeah, we've got no trees over here just yet, but there will be. But yeah, the shapes of the outside, just little things like, and again, this is I pointed this one out several times, but this ridge here on that mountain there, that got reworked completely because it was basically going this way, and it just made this mountain seem flat and disinteresting from over here. So putting that ridge in made this mountain come alive. So yeah, the outside of the 25 tiles, I mean, I've got these waterfall systems on the outside of the 25 tiles. If anything, the boring part is the middle of the map, because it's completely flat and featureless. When I say featureless, I'm excluding all the rivers. Every single tile has got a river running through it, right? Water in it. I'm not talking about the completely ludicrous intersection leading into the start square. I'm not talking about the finely worked tunnels and the big old bridge. Over the big old bridge. Everybody loves a big old bridge. I'm not talking about those. And I'm certainly not talking about the incomplete. Ooh, it's a castle. None of that. No. Just the middle of the map, if anything, is the boring part. Sorry, I just had to go off on my YouTube rant. It's all good. Dan's here. Hi, Dan. Ooh, so much water. Yes. There is a little bit of water, and it's been flooding continuously as I've been working my way down. But again, I'm using the minimum number of spawns on the map to maintain what's here. So if I can get away, like here, I pointed this out earlier, there's no spawns on this bit here. This is being fed by, I think this is spawn in the middle of the lake. It's being fed by the spawn in the lake and the river. This is just flooding, basically deliberate flooding. And again, if you dam this off here with just soil, this will go dry. So if you're playing vanilla rules and you need this to be a clean edge, absolutely easily possible. And then up here, the quarry. All of this very easily accessible for if you've got Industries DLC here. Or if you just got vanilla industries, you could quite easily just zone this one up. And of course the corner of the quarry is the corner of the 25 tiles as well. So yeah, it's it's fun, all right? I'm so offended. How dare you come to me complaining about the outside of my map not being playable? It's not about the outside. Whew. Hang on, let me just get some of that whiskey. I need some whiskey right now. So I don't have whiskey. I have some cold coffee instead. Same effect, right? You imagine the map will have a lot of traffic issues. You imagine that, do you? It might. It might. There are question marks. And this is the thing. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. This intersection was based very much on a map on the workshop. I've drawn it by hand myself from scratch. It's not dropped in from the workshop, but I did use the workshop as a guide. Now, on the workshop, there are two slip roads. One that runs from here to here, meaning that traffic from here just skips across here rather than having to go through the loop. And it is from here down, around, up, around, down, and out. So yeah, it's quite convoluted from that. Don't think it's quite so difficult this way. Up here. Oh, that's right. And then and straight out. No, I can't remember how that way works, but basically it works because I've checked them all. But basically, yeah. But that's by virtue of having this loop here. Without this loop here, it becomes we need the slip roads here, and we need the slip road here to complete the intersection. And I think if that does the job, if that handles the amount of traffic, I'm prepared to go with it. But until I playtest it, which I'm not going to do until I finish building the map, I won't know if I need these slip roads put in place. Putting these slip roads in place, literally one from here down to here, and one from here, possibly going tight, so we mirror this into this loop, or possibly going shallower. They're not a big issue. They can be put in quite easy, and deleting that one is like a 1 minute job, if that. So I don't know whether or not that would cause too many problems, but in terms of the amount of traffic going into the start square, this is like the downtown, I guess. But you've got this highway leading up and in as well, where you can build your second. I think there'll be an intersection about here leading to this location and these locations. You might even want to put an intersection here to give you access to this area. I mean, there are options. I think it might be okay. I don't know until I play it, but I think it might be okay. But yeah, it is going to be a big city fed only by 2 outside connections for the highway. One over this side, one over this side. All the traffic pushing up into the map. And then this is why I need to have rail. I need to find some way of getting rail into the map. I will find a way of doing it. I haven't planned it yet. But we need rail, especially so that the resources can be fed down from up this way. How I'm going to do it, I don't really know. The oil up here already has rail, but that dead ends here. That doesn't go anywhere at the moment. So connecting that up won't be a big problem. And then the city builder could extend that down into this area here, and I'm thinking probably a second rail route coming from this direction up, maybe some sort of hub up here at the top of the rail, at top of the river. So I'm thinking somehow I've got to get a rail line into this kind of zone here, which will then give some the option of people could connect across or up into this area to access the ore, and you've got all of the fertile. But yeah, so that's going to be my challenge, finding a way to lead the rail into this area here. And I don't honestly have an answer at the moment. It might just be bringing it via a tunnel here, maybe a rail bridge across here, and then running it up that way. Or yeah, I don't know is the answer, but that would reduce the traffic a bit. Could cut down dummy traffic. What could cut down dummy traffic? I'm confused. Make an underground highway. Yeah, the underground highway system is an option. Come back into the map here. So what we'd have is you'd have to have a direct route from here to here, and the problem is, well, first of all, it was going to kind of a little bit of a distraction, because what you'll have is this is a fairly straight route in the grand scheme of highway. Yes, we have got the convoluted loop around here. I understand that, but to have the underground highway, it would pretty much need to go in a tunnel from here almost directly to here. I don't think there's any other way of doing it, and I think that's going to be ugly. whilst it's going to be hidden, so anybody, since they go into the underground mode, like we have this tunnel, we have this tunnel, and there will be this tunnel running across the entirety of the map, right in the middle of the map. I don't like the idea of it. I think it's going to be a little bit just awkward. So yeah, it would be a way of getting rid of dummy traffic, but I think I'll suffer the dummy traffic. The bigger problem, like I say, is the bigger question is, can this loop here handle the amount of traffic coming through once we get a decent sized city on the build? I will be doing a test build. It won't be a pretty build. It will literally be just build a big city and see how much this can handle. That will be my thought process. Right, here we go here. Would it not make sense for the rail TOFPPW by the river valley on the left after popping out of the mountain? Make sense for the rail to, don't know, the river valley on the left. Okay, let me see if I can work out the river valley on the through here. Could be. It could be. I am kind of reluctant to bring the rail through this way, though. It does make sense. I'll give you that. It does make sense. But there's a limited amount of space down that way. And for anybody who's playing with the 81 tile mod and wants to unlock, we had this discussion earlier. Who was it? Flying Man, wasn't it? I think. I think. Don't worry. No, I am absolutely fine. Don't worry. I was feigning insults. Don't worry about me. I'm good. But yes, just a lot of fun to be had. Right. If I put a rail line down here, then suddenly it's like, well, how do you build down here? There's a rail line in the way. So I don't really want to be putting the rail down that way. The obvious other shout is to follow the highway, which I think it's a little bit of a soft option. Don't really want to be doing that. Another option would be for the rail to be an outside connection, for the rail to be tucked in the mountains and for it to emerge in a tunnel form out the side of one of the plateaus, which is a bit of a cop-out, but how else is the rail going to get in here? So I'm thinking maybe here. This would seem a sensible-ish location. And then for the rail, I mean, we could straight up to there. And maybe have the rail emerge from somewhere along this ridge here, come down, and I don't like the idea of that. Again, that is taking prime space from a city builder, running the rail through this area. I want it to add to gameplay, not potentially distract. Maybe up here though. Maybe up here, because this is your yep. Let's come up to your tiles. Come put tiles up. There we go. So there's your 9 tiles here. Yes, start square and the inner ring around the start square. If I was to bring in the rail sort of from this angle, it would only be on the outside of the, and you do want it in the second tile, don't you? That's the thing. So that's a possibility. And then if the rail was coming in from that direction, so that would give you a possibility of a passenger station, big passenger terminus in this area here. And then maybe have the rail bridge across there, and then arc its way up into this area up here. I think that could work. All right, you know what? Let's play. This is not going to be what happens, but it might be close. It might be close. Elevated. Right, we're going elevated. I'm going to stick you here. What sort of... Right, one to there. One to there. It's not going to be pretty. Okay, this is routing, all right? This is routing. This isn't pretty. It's not meant to be pretty. Don't get excited or disillusioned. In fact, we could do the whole freaking thing at elevation, because really it's not... Oh dear, oh me. And then, where are we? So that kind of route there. And then, okay, a lot of this is going to be down at ground level. But this kind of route up there, maybe not even into that tile. I think probably stopping here. I think that is where that would stop. Hate it. I hate it, but I don't hate it so much that I don't have an immediate solution. You're gone. Why are you being... Thank you. We are... So something more like that. Emerging from a tunnel there. With... something like that. Like, so what are we thinking to... So that's going into a tunnel, which will connect up with this, with the oil, and then go to a hidden outside connection in a pit over here. That gives us access for a passenger and for freight going up into fertile. Doesn't give you freight. Oh, we've already got freight going into oil by the hidden little entrance over there, so you could extend the rail into that area there. And then I'm still on it. I'm still on it, Mum. It's fine. And then again, this would all be at ground level. This is just speed building. And straight line up into that area there. So in terms of routing, right, okay, so in terms of routing, what do we think of that for the rail? I'm just trying to find if there's a... Is there a better route? Again, this is all elevated only for speed build purposes. This is just a placeholder. Like we had the rivers were placeholders. Oh, hi Palladino, gotta go. No worry. Always do magic connections. Yes, Dan, you know it. I've already done that trick once, okay? Like with the tides, did the tides map, did that trick once. With this, never done the fantasy map. Want it to be super vanilla friendly for people that don't understand, you know, why is there no outside connection? It's because it's underneath your house in the middle of the don't want to play that game. So where are we? Let's have a little look at the make sense for the there we go. Don't think of it. I don't like it as I think. What? Hang on a second. Let me just go back there. Would you consider underground highway system with you? Right, yeah. Right. I don't like it as I think of it. English being a second language sometimes takes a while for it to sink into an English brain, I think. You put the rail on the right of the foothills, the other side. Below those hills going along the river. Was that what I've done? Below the hills, below the foothills, going along the river. That I think I've followed a similar suggestion to what you've had there. So yeah, that's not bad. And also no through rail traffic as well by not connecting these two up. But you'll have to try different options. I agree. Could you run some rail along the ridge? I could run rail along the ridge, but then you've got the fantastical side of it. Sometimes I think with the rail, simpler the better, right? With rail, no elevation changes unless you absolutely have to. Kind of cheating by using magic tunnel to get from what would be, I mean, this would be ground level here, all the way up. We're going up one plateau, two plateaus, and then to emerge 2 levels higher secretly, naughtily. So there's a little bit of shenanigans going on there, but if you can get away with that because of the distance between the 2 tunnels. I think you can get away with that a little bit. Might, however, emerge the tunnel from here into this area. That kind of makes a little bit of sense. And then you could have through trains going from here. Mind you, where would they go to? Where would they go to? Because we have this big valley. And while that is again, we're talking about a crazy elevation of like however many meters we've got here. Let me come back into this. So that's what, about 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 meter climb there. And 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120. So it's almost a 200 meter climb between this point and that point, which is silly, right? It's a little bit silly. But because of the distance and because it's a fantasy map, you can kind of hide that. You're sort of like, your brain doesn't automatically, it doesn't look like it's that much of an incline, does it? But if I put a tunnel going in here, where is, your brain instantly says, well, where's the tunnel go? It's obvious, right? So with this one, different rules would apply. So I'm not sure about that at all. I'm gonna give this one a bit more thought because this feels more like a terminus to me. Again, the rail connection there it's kind of a dumb thing. Maybe I could rotate all of this and have it come from this direction, and then that would tie that up with this line. And then we could tie that up with this line. Oh, it's starting to make sense, people. It's starting to make sense. I'm not going to do it now, but I reckon we rotate this so the lines are coming this way into the tunnel, through to the magic tunnel entrance here. Also means that this line here could just extend into this area, so your passenger station could be up that way potentially, instead of coming off into this direction, building into what would be prime estate. I think that works. Then this and this could be connected. Let me, oh, why am I underground? Don't know. Oh, come on. Right, rail. And something like that. Something like that. Again, this is all something like that-ish at the moment, because this is just placeholders. But then something like that, and something like that. That kind of route, with the invisible tunnel running from here to here, meaning the rail feeds in from this direction only, meaning we don't get any through rail traffic. We just have everything coming in via this. Some of these would be double rail lines as well, so that you could separate your industry from your passenger. I think that's an interesting, and again, it kind of works with the shape of this. That aesthetically works quite well with the map, I think. Let me have a quick look at the chat, because it's been a while. Let me have a little sip here. Could you run some... Oh, we've done the rail along the ridge, yeah. That looks really great from above. Thanks, Tamada. Looks like a huge river delta of some sort. It's a fantasy map rather than the river delta map. Intended to allow for a really good downtown with resources from above. If you're looking to do a big resource build, you've got that. Plenty of room for a big harbour stroke airport, with fantastical elements tied into it throughout, with these plateaus which are silly, but I've wanted to do a plateau map for, I don't know, 4 years probably 4 years since the urge came. And so yeah, we've got all of that to come. Plenty of tree detailing to come, tree painting to come. That's going to be a bit stressful. Hang on, this isn't job done, by the way, is it? Because I did say that this, there we go, did say that, and we're going straight into this area here. Right, so yeah, I think that becomes the approximate rail route. I think that's okay. The question is, does the rail want to run closer to the river? I don't think I want to run it closer to the river, because we've already got one going relative. I mean, it's not going to be super close to the river here. I don't want to what's it called, enclose on the river too much here. I'm putting this through the middle of what's going to be flat, almost empty buildable space, almost, you know. That is going to give the city builder plenty of opportunity to go, actually no, I want to reroute this more directly here or something, or I want to get rid of this completely, or they can make their own decisions, because city builder game, right? So actually I think that as a route is not bad. We probably would need, there's one missing part of the the jiggle here, isn't there? Which would be... Oh, didn't quite mean to do that. Quite obviously. You get out of destruction mode, please. Hang on a second. It's twice I've done this. That out of bulldoze is on the correct setting. There we go. And that is, apart from the whole thing that would need to be redrawn anyway, and a lot of it at ground level, etc, 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 I think that's okay. The river crossing there, I don't anticipate ships going beyond that point. There's shipping routes. I'm thinking in terms of shipping routes, we'll have one come in from this angle, go through and just dead end up here. We'll have one coming from almost directly straight down, in and going up this way, stopping about here. And then we'll have a third one coming in this way, going into the harbour. I don't think we need a fourth. I don't think there's a fourth one is necessary on this particular map. Air routes, we'll angle it so that it's suited to have a... Well, I mean, I'll probably just put it straight across the middle of the map, to be honest with you. But my thought process is the airport... The logical place for the airport for me is here, beside the river. I reckon right there is where, if it were me, if I was building on this map, I'd build the airport there, the harbour here, connect the highway up into this area. It's going to be a great map to build. I'm going to have to build on my map. I want to build on my own map, but I won't have any time because Cities Skylines II is coming. You've got to go, Flying Man. Yes, indeed. You look after yourself. Really good to have you in along. You don't create art, it reveals itself. Go. Hello. Just like a streaker. Big old rail bridge out of bigger tunnels. Oh, yes, indeed. Good layout. I'm glad you like it. You were thinking of that exact same layout, were you, Dan? Were you really now? Bless you. Anyway, it looks like a huge river delta. We've done that. Tropical rainforest. Yeah, we won't be rainforesting. I have got a selection of trees on the go. Again, there's going to be a tutorial out in 2.5 hours. It's quite a long tutorial. It's quite a ramble tutorial. But it is about tree painting and forest painting, because it's not something that I excel at. Knowing your weakness, that is a key thing. So what I've done is I grabbed a whole bunch of the vanilla trees here. I reckon these ones here are mostly going to be used for beautification. So the castle, doing the castle grounds. Where are you, castle? Up there. Doing the castle grounds with those. I see that. Detailing into the mountains, looking at these guys. Transitioning out of the mountains into the foothills will be these guys. Then the foothills down to the lowlands, I reckoning these guys. Then into the lowlands, a little bit of like riverside stuff will be with these ones, and these guys here down to the riversides. Down on the seafronts, and maybe, I don't know, town centre, city centre. I mean, I'm looking at palm trees, and I'm looking at the possibility of a few to welcome you to the city here, just to encourage people to start building. I'm reckoning there and there and there, possibly palm trees in the. Do you know what? This is something I've got to get rid of. This is bugging me. The more I see this, I don't like the lakes that I've put down in here. I like the idea of lakes in here, but I don't like what or how I've achieved it. Not a pretty job. So let me do that. I still want some level of water down here, balancing lake in here. But how I had it wasn't how I would like it. Something like this is not far off. Something like that is not far off at all. Brush size down to the minimum. Brush strength up a little bit. And then, come on. Oh, hang on. This again. I'm using the wrong tool. Bad worker blames his tools, and in this case, it was the tool. But it was only because I was choosing the wrong one. Oh, come on. Right, so that's nay too awful. How's that shape? That shape's good. And we can add to it. I don't think we want water in it. Something like this. Maybe a little bit lower. Something like that. And then we'll put like a vegetation and reeds here to make it look like it's supposed to be wet, but it's not. And then around these areas we can then work it so that, work it baby, work it, move it. Ah, I love it. Right, we need a mod called I'm Loving It, right? Am I right? We've got move it, we've got play it, we've got find it. We haven't got I'm loving it. Right, so we're not quite there, but we are very close. Ooh, that was a bit more than I wanted, but we can save the day. Oh, floop, floop, floop. Do you know what? It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. It's not going to be fine. It is going to be fine. And something like that. This water will balance itself out in a moment. Right, I think I'm already, even though I still hate what I've done here, don't think I'm happy with my work here. I'm kind of not, but I am definitely preferring it. Where's my... Have I not got a water spawn in there? Did I remove the water spawn? No wonder we're a bit low on water. Good grief. Good grief. Oh, come on. Something like that. Right, let's let that fill itself up. I think once we've done some detailing, it's probably about time I did some detailing in this. Get one area at least looking like it's got some love spent on it, right? Vegetation. That's what you need. Singles. We're gonna. One thing I miss is the terrain toggler. I miss my terrain toggler. What we could do is we can grab that. Right, so we've got some vegetation going on there. And that's a different one, a deeper one. We'll go back to the original one here. And then we also want, no, actually not that one. Not that one. That's probably the easiest one, but I might accidentally pick a vanilla or a non-vanilla asset if I go that route. Got ya. Got ya. Got ya, got ya, got ya. I might still raise the water level a little bit. Anybody know what setting it is now to get rid of the dust when you place an item? There used to be the subtle bulldozer, but that went, didn't it? That mod went with the Game Anarchy. Is it a setting in? Am I missing a setting in Game Anarchy? Probably. Please, anybody who knows, I would love to not have to work it out myself, because I'm lazy. We'll stick that. I'm going to get rid of that very first one. Right, let's push this water level up a little bit. Just a little bit. Right, and I'm going to have to fix this little patch here, which isn't going to be a big problem, one would imagine. So it's now going to be a big problem, isn't it? Right. I think I may have to drop this slightly. Hide it. Hide it as a... Does it? Does it really? Okay. As I have hide it. I trust you on that. Hide it. Oh, I wish I hadn't now. Enforce the hiding of props. Enforce the hiding of sprite decorations. Enforce the hiding of ruinings. I'll do that. Force the hiding of props. No. Gear, zoom, advisor, bulldozer button. No, we do want that. Freak out. These is all the buttons. Objects. Birds, wildlife, rescue, pets. Sounds. It's fine, I don't play with sounds. Props. Disabled unless enforcement. Props. It's not going to be under props, is it? Ruinings. Groundwater colours. Effects. Right, it's probably an effect, isn't it? Is it under buildings built? It's got to be them, isn't it? It's probably them. Right, let's find it. Let's hang on. It's gonna be No, I've still got dust. I've still got dust, so it's not... Mind you, it's not a building, is it? Scroll way down, he says. Scroll way down, he says. Way down is where we're going to go. I'm going to go right to the bottom. Up the bum. That's it. Right to the bottom. It won't let me drag it. I'm just going to have to drag it. Spin the thing all the way. Right, okay. Trees. Duh. I just want to cry. Oh, God. All right. Dan, leave me alone. Oh, thank you, Dan. Oh, that was amazing. I'm having too much fun today. Oh, too much fun and also not enough fun at the same time, right? Right, okay. Oh, man. I am going to drop this area just a wee bit. Oh, look at you with your fancy buttons. Look at you with your fancy buttons. Oh. That made it worthwhile subscribing, didn't it? Hey, Dan? Oh, you get to use the button and it makes sense. Fantastic. Oh, I love it. Right. Okay, gonna do a bit of moving here. Oh, Nate just showing off. Okay, let's grab all of these. Oh, blimey, are they? Since when was vegetation? I've not deselected props. Try that again. I was about to say, since when was vegetation a tree? It's not, is it? It's just not, right? So something like that. Do something similar over this way. And we'll do something similar down there. Might double up on some of these. I'll pop that along there. So we've got double up on the grasses there. Have I overdone the vegetation here a little bit? I may have done. Do you know what I think I have? Don't want to do that. That was my bad. You can go. You can go. You can go. I'm going to go and grab a tree for my tree palette. I have a tree palette. And I think we're looking at this fella. I think this is going to fit absolutely perfectly along here. Nice. Other trees in my tree palette include this one. This is for my water areas, by the way, just in case you hadn't worked out. And there are plenty of water areas on this map. I know, strictly speaking, this tree here isn't a water area tree, but this isn't, strictly speaking, a realistic map. Right. RNC render it. How do you move? Oh, the edge of map. Yes. Oh, RNC, as in RNC worldwide. Yes. I can do that for you now. Let's go into render it. Environment. I'll just put the fog back on. So here's that map. Here's the map with the fog, the edge fog, and all of that. And of course, that's all well and good if you want that. But if you're building a map, you need to be able to see what you're doing. So I've got it smashed off there. So there we go. Right, that's good. I think we are close to grab you back over this way. I don't know that I want to use this. I'm sure it has its advantages, but I don't think it's going to bring anything to this. But some of those little purple flowers would. They would work really well, just for a splash of colour in what is actually a very dark green area, and there's not much going on in here. So I'm just going to throw in a few dotted. I don't like that one so much in the open there. There we go. And maybe one in there as well. Right, so look, we've got a little detailed area. It's taken a while, but I'll tell you what, I'm not going to be redoing this lake again. Yes, the rest of the lake does need some life brought to it, but I've done one little detailed area, all right? That's how you get started. You start and then you realise that you've overdone something, and no, we'll stop at that point. Also, what happened to the texture? Huh? I mean, I know this is fertile. What happened to the... I'm very confused. I'm very confused. I don't know what happened there. I might have accidentally selected it. Anyway, let's push that back down. So right. So I'm going to take a break in a short while. I think been going 2.5 hours. I'm going to take a break. Right. I got things like housework and things to do. It's Sunday after all. So right. So what have I achieved with the help of you guys to focus me? Because actually that has helped. Right. We have a route for the rail. These are placeholders. They're elemented. They're elevated. They're elemented, my dear Watson. They're elevated just because it's easier to place them elevated, and we can reduce and put them at the correct heights later. We've got the bridge here where pillars will be taken out and the whole thing will be tidied up, looking much better. We will stick a tunnel from here. We will rotate. Hang on. Right. We will rotate this. Unfortunately, I've got sand painting underneath here, so it's not going to look right just now. It would help if I chose everything. Again, right. Rotate that. Is that how I want it? Is that how I want it? Or do I want it? I think I do want it in that area. And it would mean that it would be possible at that location. Thank you. Oh, we're going to go ground level. No, ground level. Thank you. That wasn't intended. Now we'll try it. We're supposed to be straight as well. So you can have that. And then the city builder, should they so wish, can draw out a line for simulation, because that's supposed to be elevated. In fact, let's throw that into elevated mode as soon as we can. That's the one. Elevated. Come on. Right, so it's shoddy, but yeah, the city builder can draw a line off that way if they wanted to access this way if they want to, which they probably won't. But I think that I'm gonna have to move the sand painting on all of this. I spent ages doing the sand painting on this. I feel robbed of some of my hours of my life. Brush size up, brush strength right the way up. There we go. Oh, I feel robbed. We're going to end up softening some of this. Then over here, sploosh, 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 and then we'll just drop the strength down. Having already done it once, it seems to be much quicker the second time. In fact, I want to say it seems to be, it's much quicker than... There we go. Right, so the rail is now pointing the right way. That tunnel has to go. This is one that took me forever. And I'm going to have to... Oh, please? Why? Why? Oh, I'm getting annoyed again. It won't let me. It won't let me delete it. I am. Maybe it'll let. Hey, I've got it. What? What? Don't Piggin do that to me. It's still there. Oh, man, my heart went. My heart went. I'm stopping. I need a break. I really need a break. I'm going to start killing my map in a minute. I haven't saved it. Right, okay. I'm going to park this over here. Don't worry, Snoopy. It's fine. It's fine. Right. Are you going to place a lighthouse? Yes, probably. Long story short, I'm not going to do any work on it. I'm seeing this continuing. This our whole island's going to be rebuilt. It's the original blobby shape, slightly reworked, and it's still horrible. This comes down. we get a new ridge coming up here, lighthouse on the end of ridge, because it has to be. Listen, it's my last map build. If I don't put a lighthouse on here, people will feel robbed. Okay, got to include all of the memes without any of the bad memes like the shipping clipping. So yes, it's not actually UN I thought it was a hide thing. And you may have hid something you shouldn't have. People zooming past you. Oh yes, sheesh. People drive. They do. People drive too fast everywhere. They fly past. You've heard them. You've heard them. They fly past mine, and it's not. It's not very child friendly, you know, when you're driving at high speed. Anyway, I am going to. I'm going to save this. I might be back later today, this evening, depending on how I'm feeling. If I'm not, don't feel robbed. I might be on tomorrow morning, depending on how I'm feeling. If I'm not, don't feel robbed. And I won't be on tomorrow night because of or if I am, it's because I'm still feeling enthused after Dev Diary, but I probably won't be. But certainly I imagine at least one of those 3 slots I will be back on doing some more of the map build. Just not going to schedule anything. I'm just going to do it as I feel, as and when I feel. But yeah, the map is coming along quite nicely. I'm getting very close to being able to think about the trees, and the water here now is, where do we get to? We've basically only got this river here to do, and then all the rivers are done. Just needs detailing and tree detailing. The waterfalls up there need doing, and perhaps a little bit of a touch or two on the back walls. And then I think we are pretty much into laying the rail, because now we know where the rail's going to go, and we'll be on to the tree painting side. 2 weeks. I think 2 weeks is possible. Plus, I have to obviously do a test build, but I think it's possible. Have a good break. Yeah, you know what I'm going to be doing, don't you? I've got laundry. I have got the kitchen needs blitzing. I have got mopping of the floor and cleaning of the counters. I've mentioned the laundry. I washed the windows earlier before starting this. I've got some washing up to do. Vacuuming. I mean, some break. But I'll put some music on. Anyway, I'm going to go. Thanks very much for watching, for commenting, for liking and subscribing. You have hit the like button, haven't you? I'm just checking. I'm sure you have. We come back. We've got all those little jobs I just mentioned previously to do. And the whole thing is starting to come together. I reckon it's going to be the best map of the week when it's released. Which is some broad statement, given that there aren't many big maps at the moment. But this is all good. It's all good. I'm going to be famous for 1 week. I've been BonBonB. Yes, that's right. You've been very, very welcome. I have no outro, so we're just RCN. Shut up. Yes, it needs trees. RCN. Oh, it needs trees. Watch my tutorial later on. That'll keep you busy for 50 minutes. Plenty about trees in that tutorial, I promise you. Anyway, yes, I don't have an outro, so we'll just say thanks for everything. I'll see you again very, very soon. Thanks, everybody.